Previously on Survivor, a memorable last 3 days for Dave, whose displays of determination and emotion preceded the tribal council, where he was reluctantly voted off Columba's tribe by the 4 remaining South Islanders.
Dave, I'm voting as part of my old tribe, and I hope you understand.
After a month here now, the very first alliance formed by the old South Island tribe, that's the alliance between John, Johnny, Bridget and Susanna, has held firm. One of these 4 is going to go on to win £1 million. Having said that, the ante goes up from here on in. Things get tougher because they have to vote against each other. Immunity has become vital.
I was just saying to Johnny, the 4 of us, we've stayed true to each other all the way along, haven't we? That says something.
It does.
It really does say something.
It does.
We're sad and sociable gets.
Yeah, quite. We haven't got the imagination or the willpower to concoct any other interesting strategies.
What we'd planned back on South Island's happened.
We all feel a level of satisfaction and contentment because the original plan when we went into the merger to try and get one up on North Tribe and then vote North Tribe off one by one has been entirely successful. So that's really positive. I think, however, the mood that we had on South Island is very, very different now from the mood that we have here, because the game has changed massively and people as well have got different focuses now, I think, to where they had before.
Having had little luck fishing for food, John's focus, today at least, is on catching a caiman, which looks like a small alligator.
As predicted, the alligator has eaten all the food and not got caught in the net. There's 2 chicken legs there, one on either side of the log, and its head's down there. There's no sign of the bag that we tied it in. It seems to have completely ripped the bag apart. Still, at least I had a nice meal last night, you know. That's the main thing.
Is there still parts of the chicken there, though? Oh, well, it'll come back for that then.
And the net's still out, intact.
Today's reward challenge is on the tribe's own beach down the hill from their camp. The survivors will see themselves in a full-length mirror for the first time in 30 days and then estimate how much weight they've lost in that time. Welcome everybody to today's reward challenge. One by one, you're going to go and stand in front of the mirror, make a little judgment about yourself, tell me how much weight you think you've lost, and I'm going to record it. Then we're actually going to weigh you. The person who's closest wins the reward. Perfectly straightforward, and it's a random draw. Bridget, you're first. Go and have a look in the mirror. Do you like what you see?
Oh my God, my hair.
Gone blonder.
It is. I look older. Bottom's got less. Haven't got any taller. Yeah, I like the new me.
And what sort of weight do you think you've lost?
I would say probably about 5 kilos.
On their arrival in Panama, the survivors were weighed by a doctor.
I weigh 55 kilograms.
And Bridget is first to get back on the same scales. If her guess is correct, she should now weigh 50 kilos.
53 kilos.
So you're 3 out. Next up, Johnny. How's the beard?
That's ridiculous. I think I have lost 6.5 kilos. I weigh 85 kilograms.
To be exactly right, Johnny would therefore now have to weigh 78.5 kilograms.
76.5 kilos.
You're 2 kilos wrong. So you lead the reward challenge at the moment.
Oh my god.
Good or bad?
Skinnier and with a very attractive bruise. I like that addition. I think I've lost quite a bit actually. I'm going to say 6 kilos. I weigh 65 kilograms.
To be correct, Susanna should now weigh 59 kilos.
61 kilos.
It's a loss of 4 kilos, so you're 2 out as well. So we got a tie with John still to go. Your big moment, John. Where have you gone?
Does my bum look big at me?
What bum?
Got matchstick legs. I'd say about 4 kilos. I weigh 58 kilograms.
For his guess to be spot on, John should weigh 54 kilograms.
56 kilograms.
But you too are 2 out. It is officially then a tie for first place. Bridget was 3 kilos out. Johnny, Susanna and John, all of you, 2 kilos wrong. I do have some rewards for you, but what I'm going to do is bring them up to the camp. So if you want to wander home, I'll see you in a moment. Hi guys, I promised you rewards. Now you did all suffer a fair shock the other day when people very close to your heart surprised you with their visit all the way from Britain, and as some compensation they bought you a care parcel, we'll call it. Oh. So this is a gift of some of your very favourite things, from Ruth to Johnny. Thank you. Is that box. From Mary to John is that box. And from Barney to Susanna is that box. And I'm going to leave them to you. I'm sure you'll share the odd thing with Bridget.
No, I'm going to go sit on the hammock.
Have a kip on the hammock.
Thank you, Mark.
See you then.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers. Go on then. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, not even. Oh my god.
What
is this?
I'll tell you all about them for
Oh
ages.
my god. The most unattractive t-shirt you could possibly imagine.
Magic
Excellent. King size Mars
toothpaste.
Oh. Parmesan cheese.
Multivitamins. Excellent. Soap.
Toothpaste.
Oh my god.
Mini eggs.
No comments. Oh my god.
It was a little, I'm going to say emotional, to think what might have been in that box for me. Like possibly photographs of my children, handwritten letters. And yes, I was a little emotional about that. So I had to leave them and go and have a tear by myself.
Right. Showing with Bridge.
What? Yeah, whatever.
She can have that empty bottle of wine. And it's to put some wine in when she gets some.
It's the thought.
I know.
It's not the fact that you've won.
I know.
It's just the thought of what's in the box. I wish I'd not seen that.
We'll see it when you get home. It's not long.
I just imagine there's stuff in there from the cups. Oh, I'm just,
No.
I just couldn't come round.
I know. But there's lots of. I've got oxo
I know
tubes and
you've got
things
lots
that,
of
no,
stuff.
but we can. But do you know what I mean? That will make everybody's life a little bit better.
It's just
And
a
some more
thought.
soap and things.
John will probably put it in. That's all.
It's the worst possible reward for the rest of the new not to get, isn't it? Really.
That's the game. Doesn't matter. Thank you.
Picture of my dad.
Oh, bless. That's so sweet.
Empire Games, 1958. The buses are just going off, you know, for the games.
So that saw in the UK then?
It was in Edinburgh, that Games 58, wasn't it?
Oh right, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Clue.
One was in Perth in Australia, that was the next one we went to.
Right.
The Olympics was in between them, which was in Rome, 1960. Just getting that little box of trinkets from back home really touches you deep down, and it meant the world, you know.
Spiritualised, that is.
Bless him.
I think. Yeah.
Visibly moved by the photograph of his late father, the rest of the tribe leave John to himself. Alone with his thoughts, he considers the reality of his current position.
It'll be a life-changing amount of money. In some ways, I'm actually quite worried in case I do get to the final and I'm in a position where I might win, because I really don't know how I'd handle that amount of money, you know. So it'd be nice to put some money back into the family and make sure everyone had a wee bit for the future, you know.
I'm just trying to keep as level-headed as possible and trying to keep my feet on the ground and not still take it one day at a time, enjoy the experience for what it is. You can't help sometimes lying in bed at night. You know, your mind starts to wander about what you do with it, and you can't help but start trying to spend it. When the sun goes down tonight, a challenge will begin. Pack your bags for a night away with immunity to win. The island will be empty, the landscape will be stark, and when night falls, we'll see who's brave and who's scared of the dark.
Oh, it's a camping trip.
Oh, lovely.
We all need immunity. So we were all going to try our damnedest to win tonight. I'm going to go all out, guns blazing to win, definitely.
Johnny, Susanna, Bridget and John are collected at dusk and taken to a remote, uninhabited island. At this point, they have no idea what the challenge will entail. One by one, they are dropped off at 4 separate points. They're told to wait by a flag until they see a signal. Each has an envelope waiting for them, containing details of the challenge, but which they are clearly forbidden from opening until that signal is given. At their 4 individual locations, isolated and alone for the first time since they arrived, the sun starts to set and the survivors end their 30th day on the islands without knowing when the immunity challenge will begin or what will be expected of them.
Mosquitoes and insects are just unbearable here though, because we're right in the middle of the swamp. Just quite keen to get on with it really. I'm not really sure what it is.
I thought I lived out in the sticks. This is really in the sticks now.
a bit apprehensive, wondering what's going to happen tonight.
With the dark and the isolation preying upon their nerves, John can't resist feeling his envelope to try and pick up a clue as to what might lie ahead. While Susanna's brought a couple of pages of her Shakespeare to keep herself entertained, Johnny and Bridget too try and rest, knowing that the signal could come at any minute.
Might be a long night.
Coming up, after a night deprived of sleep, the challenge is tougher than anyone might have expected.
Come on!
It's just before dawn, and in addition to feeling tense about the nature of the challenge and when it might begin, the survivors have also experienced real isolation for the first time since they arrived here 31 days ago.
It's nice being awake when dawn comes. The noises change.
It feels quite odd to sleep on your own for a change, because being in a shelter with so many people for such a long time now.
Last night, I thought we'd been bitten more last night than I have been ever in my entire life before, combined.
But you can't even breathe in without breathing in the bloody mossy.
It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning on the 31st day of Survivor. Columbus Tribe have been here in this dense forest for 14 hours. In a moment, I'm going to give the signal, and then they can open their envelopes and find out what this challenge entails. Each envelope contains a compass, instructions on its use and an individual bearing which, if followed correctly, will lead the survivors directly to a clearing in the centre of the island. The first to reach that point claims the amulet and immunity.
Follow the compass approximately east at a bearing of 050.
Follow the compass approximately north on a bearing of 356 degrees.
The immunity amulet is at the centre of the island, and the first to reach it may claim it.
Having set his bearing, former Commando John is first to go.
Go. Begin walking with the compass at waist height, keeping the north arrow aligned with the green line.
While Bridget continues to read the instructions, Johnny sets off, shortly followed by Susanna, but they're both going in the wrong direction. John, however, is firmly locked onto his bearing and crashing through the dense undergrowth undeterred.
12 o'clock's there. Oh, this is silly. This is really silly. I can't do this. I'm going to go up this hill.
Bridget gives up on the compass and decides simply to head for the high ground.
Come on!
At this point, it's clearly John who's taking the most direct, if not the easiest, route to the centre of the island.
I haven't got a clue where to go.
Although she doesn't know it, Bridget's random, compass-free approach to the challenge has brought her to within a few metres of the amulet, and therefore immunity.
Can't hear anybody else. Perhaps it's the other way.
Unfortunately, she carries on walking right past it. Johnny's the first to make a discovery, but it's not what he's looking for.
Good morning.
How horrendous is it?
How are you?
Awful. I think John will win this one.
Yeah. These compasses are so wobbly as well, aren't they?
Again?
These compasses are so wobbly.
I know.
We're spending about 10 minutes each time actually getting it stable. The centre of the island are like this.
Now, Johnny's haphazard compass reading leads him to the spot where John spent the night.
John's bearing there's 356.
Have you got the details down there?
Yeah, it's on John's bit of paper. He's left it. 356.
Then Bridget arrives, having trekked from one side of the island to the other.
It's thrashing around.
Bridget.
Susanna? Susanna? Hello, Bridget. Are you lost?
Oh, yes.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
And Johnny's lost as well.
Compass reading's not my best thing either.
John's determination and compass reading skills have now taken him very close to the centre point of the island. The other three split up and turn around to head inland to the same point. They won't know until they arrive that it's too late for them, because John is seconds from reaching the clearing and claiming the amulet.
You got it, boy. You have the amulet.
Yes!
It's dense stuff, isn't it?
Oh,
Serious jungle.
Tears your legs apart. It's like some shins and stuff.
And that's just from what you've done in the last...
Couple of minutes, yeah.
Now listen, John. I'm going to leave you now.
Okay.
And I'm leaving the others to find you. You've got immunity.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
Unaware that they've already lost immunity, Johnny, Bridget and Susanna continue to head for the centre of the island. An exhausted Bridget arrives first and isn't slow at registering her disappointment.
You bastards! Hello.
Well done, John.
We're watching me go round in circles.
How long have you been here?
Ages.
Half an hour.
I found your camp first.
I've just been going round in circles. I had compass in pocket. It meant nothing to me.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Good effort.
Well done, mate.
5 years in the Marines. My map reading was always absolutely dismal when I was in. In fact, I think I failed every single map reading exercise that I ever did. Bridget's face as she burst through the undergrowth this morning was one of just sheer determination, because she burst through and I was just standing there with the amulet, and she just bright red and with all the sort of feelings she could muster just went, "You bastard!
You bastard!"
I thought that was quite nice, actually quite a nice feeling.
I've never had to use a compass before in my life. So in the pocket it went, and then I kept walking around in circles and more circles, and I kept thinking, there's a little bit of deja vu here, I've been here before.
John's immunity puts him one step closer to the £1 million. This causes Johnny to check that their long-standing alliance is still on.
Johnny approached me today and he just said, oh, you're still on. And it's odd because I think he's even getting a little bit jittery and there's always an element of doubt, but you know, I just reassure him every time.
I have a gut feeling that John's probably more genuine and slightly less ambitious to win the £1 million than Susanna. I think Susanna's here more for the £1 million.
It's a very difficult game to play if you don't trust anyone, and I think you've got to lay your trust somewhere, and you know, mine's been with Johnny, his been with me, so I'm going to see it through to the end.
An oblivious Bridget continues to be a major source of irritation to the rest of the tribe.
White patch.
Isn't that logical, Bridget?
Yes, but everybody else is going to be that colour when we get home. They always take the mickey out of me and my simple lifestyle and my little quaint stories, which I think is hilarious. I think it's great. It's been a great combination.
Look at Bridget's white bits. Is it surprising that she has white bits since she's actually been in the Caribbean island for the last 5 weeks?
Bridget's lovely, but she's just sometimes it's just so boring.
I have one cup of coffee when I get up, one at lunchtime with my parents, and maybe one when I get home and maybe one later. It can vary between 3 and 4 a day. My dad drinks tea all morning. He'll have coffee at lunchtime. Tea in the afternoon. But he has cups, not mugs. Got to learn to drink out of cups and saucers, he says.
She went on about what she drank, and then what her boyfriend drank, what her dad drank, what her mum drank, and what they used to drink when they used to milk the cows, and what they used to drink 10 years ago and 20 years ago, and it's not of interest to anybody.
For a treat, I'll buy a pot of hot chocolate, proper chocolate, with make it with milk, and squirt that squirty cream on the top. That's a treat. That is a bit harder than Mummy anyway. Although Mummy isn't a soft milk.
That's just typical Bridget. She'll just go on and on about minor things. Different world. The most boring woman in the universe, bar none. So do your parents have their coffee? And tea? And biscuits and breakfast? And your uncles and aunts?
There's only so many sort of farming anecdotes you can take in a lifetime.
Most years we've planted about 20,000 cabbages. They've got...
How big's this farm? 200 acres?
No, it's only 50 acres.
Would you mind if I break up the chicken coop? She's quite single-minded and she's quite an unusual person. You know, she cries every time you mention foot and mouth. Not one of her animals died in the foot and mouth crisis that hit Britain. 3,000 people died when 2 planes hit the World Trade Center in the Pentagon. Bridget couldn't give a shit about that because it didn't affect her. She hasn't seen it once on television. I think that is phenomenally ignorant.
Although John and Johnny might be frustrated with Bridget and find her annoying, they don't consider her a threat, unlike Susanna.
I have always thought from the sort of second day that Susanna wants to win more than anybody else in both tribes put together. She's a very, very ambitious person.
She is, however, unaware of the strength of the separate alliance between the 2 boys.
Johnny boy, do you have any toothpaste? A tiniest little bit of toothpaste.
It's up at the camp. Yeah, I thought we were talking about after.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I strongly doubt that there are other alliances that I'm aware of at the moment. It is possible that John has an alliance with Johnny that I'm unaware of, but I don't think so, because I haven't had any evidence to suggest that. As far as I'm aware, they've included me in almost all conversations. If they've had a walk away together or a chat away together about something, then they've kind of briefed me afterwards. Obviously I don't know. I mean, you never know in this game.
I've never really actually made an alliance with Susanna. I was never actually approached her and she never actually approached me. It was always kind of done through Johnny as a mediator.
as far as I'm aware, the alliance with John's still as strong as it was, if not stronger. Because just we've gotten so well, with good laugh, same sense of humour. My eventual goal is, the ideal would be myself and John to be in the final.
Back in camp, some of the contents of Susanna's care parcel from her husband Barnaby are a source of fascination to John and Johnny.
That is in my parents' garden. That bit.
And that was
on honeymoon.
So you play croquet quite a lot, Suze?
Yes, all the time, Johnny. Every Sunday. That was at a restaurant, a really smart restaurant with a marquee out the back and stuff.
The parcels also contained food, so they mixed Susanna's Parmesan cheese with a tin of beans and add it to the rice. After such a bland diet, the new flavours are intense.
My taste buds have just gone mad again. Every time I'm eating at the moment, it's almost as if they're just bursting on my tongue. And after I've eaten, they become so sensitised that it feels it's swollen up.
Have you tried a protein mouthwash before you go to bed?
Still to come, another interesting addition to the tribe's menu.
Yes, slit his throat.
It's Tribal Council Day, and having voted off all former North Islanders, the 4 who remain know that they must now vote off one of their own. To dispel tension and avoid discussing the inevitable, they plan the day ahead down to the last detail.
Fishing, wash, sunbathe. Eat, sunbathe.
Should we try and get this godforsaken boat into the water?
Yeah.
Although John's not looking forward to it, the smaller boat they've been given should make the fishing trip easier.
Panama actually means abundance of fish. That's the Indian name. And I wasn't believing it for a second until today. And out in the reef, it was just spectacular. When we went in with the mask and the snorkel, there was just thousands of fish, different coloured, all swimming in the coral. It was really quite beautiful.
The reef was stunning, absolutely beautiful, and the different coloured corals and all of the different fish. But the problem was, trying to get a net over those fish was impossible. As soon as the fish saw us approaching, they would kind of dart out the way, or as soon as there was a shadow over the top of them. And by the time it would take the net to settle down on them, they would have almost certainly gone anyway. So that was a major problem.
Crabs, however, can't move quite so fast, and Susanna catches a beauty.
Brilliant.
Is it alive?
Yeah.
Going to spear.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, mate.
The fishing trip was unsuccessful in terms of fish, but we did catch a crab, so we got something from it.
Johnny's a bit of a girl's blouse when it comes to lifting up crabs and insects, and I'm exactly the same. Johnny and I are completely pathetic at lifting up crabs, even though we know how to do it in theory and keep the pincers away and lift from behind. But so Susanna did it, and then I didn't touch it and got it straight into the bucket. So yeah.
20 minutes later, Susanna raises the alarm that something has been caught in the net, and with the thought of fresh meat on the menu tonight, John leads the tribe down to the creek.
When we came back, we discovered an alligator had gone into the net. It's a lot smaller than the one we saw earlier, so we're presuming there's going to be a family of them living in there.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Right.
Want the
Bring
knife?
out. Brilliant.
Brilliant, oh my god.
Brilliant. Slit his throat.
I don't want to kill him though. He's quite cute. What do you reckon if we degree the best way? Axe in the head?
Axe to the neck, I reckon.
Why don't we stick the knife in there then? Stick the knife straight down in there. That's stuff.
Yeah?
Knife in there.
Right now?
No.
Right.
It's alright. Check out her for nastiness.
And that's in the
Not
way
going
now.
anywhere now. Gutting the crocodile was was an experience that I shall not forget.
Okay, miss, we won't argue with you anymore.
Oh, I know, great, isn't it?
I'm going to cut his doodah out of the way.
I've longed for this opportunity for a long time.
Go for
Susanna wanted to gut it in particular. She never gutted an alligator before, so she wanted to gut it, so myself and John were quite happy with that. People remaining on the island at the moment, I'd say Susanna is probably the most dangerous. She'd play the game a certain way if she thought it would help her get to the final.
I'm pretty good at reading people and judging what people are thinking and doing. I think the most dangerous person perhaps is Susanna for me, because she's closer to Johnny, she's more likely to take him through to the final.
If I'm voted off tonight, I will kill the boys at a later date. I would be very, very disappointed if I were voted off tonight. I would feel really betrayed.
You know, I've tactically controlled this game, I thought, from the start. I've got immunity tonight. Chances are I've got immunity next time possibly, and I've got a 66% chance of getting into the final regardless if I get immunity or not next time. So yeah, I feel pretty confident to get into the last two. That's all I want.
Before Tribal Council, however, the tribe enjoy their most exotic meal to date.
How are we going to eat them?
Just pull them apart.
Chicken.
Yes, just what I was going to say, stringy chicken.
Still got enough for a little brooch or a small purse. Sure, it is a mixture between chicken and fish, isn't it?
It is, it's lovely.
Can I gnaw on the bone?
Just these are picking
That bit
bits.
there.
I'm just trying to get all the meat off and then we can just
Oh, right.
pick away. Today has been brilliant because we've been really active, and I think all of us have said how much we've enjoyed today because it's kept us from bitching, from thinking about home, from thinking even about the next few days, and it's been a really good day. Obviously having success in catching the crocodile and kind of getting a crab as well has helped and boosted the morale.
Blimey, you ought to see the eggs in this crab. Just when you're eating them, just pull them off the what we call the branches.
Right. That's very good. How long way?
Legs are much nicer.
Once they've eaten, the tribe pack for Tribal Council, in the knowledge that one of them won't be returning.
Today, and I'm sure for the remainder of my time on the island, I'll be just thinking about just getting through to the last two. It's funny because I started off really pretty unambitious, in this game. I was just hoping to get to the jury phase, and now I'm really just trying to push through to the final like a man possessed.
Still to come, it's confession time at Tribal Council.
I'd say it's formed an unbreakable bond, yeah.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, yeah.
Welcome, Columbus, to Tribal Council. Please place your torches in the stand and then take a seat. Well, Dave's had a shave. He nearly finished the job and he's joined the jury. Two more of you will be joining that jury that will go such a long way towards deciding who wins £1 million. That's 6 in the jury, plus one, of course. The one being the public, who could conceivably have a deciding vote. I welcomed you this evening by calling you Columbus Tribe. John, have you often felt like Columbus Tribe, or do you think of yourselves now, the four of you, as South Island?
Just thinking it from a purely practical point of view now, there's the 4 original members of South Tribe. It's hard not to sort of reflect back and think perhaps we are South Tribe, and because the voting has been very tribal, fairly or unfairly, I think the tribal loyalties ran so deep, it really was almost two tribes just under one guise of Columbus.
Johnny and John, those of us that have observed you over the past few weeks would come to the conclusion that you have a bond, conceivably an unbreakable bond. Johnny, would that be a correct assumption?
Certainly, since we've been together for every day, 24 hours a day, since the start of Survivor, yeah, we're very close. As we've all been very close as well.
But not specifically the two of you, John and Johnny?
No.
John, would you say that the two of you are especially close friends and therefore hard to tear apart?
Johnny and I were born on the same day. Unusually enough, share the same birthday. We were born a year apart, and we bought the same first single. And it was DISCO by Ottawan. And so it's formed an unbreakable bond, yeah.
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable, yeah.
Susanna, you're in an interesting position because you've had opportunities to consider and maybe even make an alliance with people who were once a part of the North Island tribe. You must have come here wanting to win the money. Do you have any regrets about not trying other alliances in the past?
I think it's really important when you're playing the game to think about all the various options, the options that other people could take and you yourself could take. But it's up to your own heart and your own head about whether you are willing to compromise real trust that has been placed within real friendships.
If we took you back a couple of months and sat you at home and said to you, for the pure sake of food, you'll kill an alligator, what would you have said?
I would have been proud of myself, and even though today's task was not perhaps the most pleasurable and the most aesthetically pleasing, I am pleased with what we did, and it tasted absolutely delicious, so I don't regret that one single bit.
John, another quite remarkable performance. Yesterday, you showed enormous joy at winning that immunity, almost as if you'd arrived somewhere very important in your period here as a survivor.
I think as it gets towards the business end of the game, winning immunity is essential, really. It's very important. And it was such a physically difficult challenge getting through that undergrowth. It was a mixture of just relief to be out in a sort of clearing and also to see your smiling face waiting for me.
Bridget, you didn't quite get to see that smiling face. You came incredibly close. I mean, you wanted that immunity badly yesterday. Now, you've been happy enough at times to say that for you, Survivor is about the experience and the adventure. You do divert the question of £1 million often.
Yes, I divert it quite easily because it's not yours until it's there in front of your face. So therefore, I try not to think too much about it.
Right now, we have to vote and decide who leaves Columbus tribe and who therefore joins the jury. So, Susanna, I think you know the route. You're first.
Bridget, I'm afraid the Mother Hen Act has ruffled a few too many feathers sometimes, and I shall be very glad to be able to stretch my wings.
Tonight I'm voting for Susanna. It's been great having the experience to share with you. I will see you again.
Thank you. I'll collect the votes. Susanna. Bridget. Bridget. 2 votes for Bridget, 1 for Susanna. Bridget. 3 votes for Bridget and 1 for Susanna. Bridget, if you'd like to gather your belongings and bring a torch to the stand here, please. Bridget, for 32 days you've had a life within 2 tribes here, a life represented by that flame. The tribe has spoken and the life is over. Please extinguish your flame. It's time for you to go. Now there are 3, 1 to win $1 million. It's been a long haul, and this indisputably is the business end. I'll see you tomorrow. Over on ITV2 now, more from the islands in Survivor Raw. After the news here on ITV1, an emotional Bridget has the opportunity for the last word. And next week on Survivor, memories of home in camp.
Is he a thoughtful lover?
Extremely thoughtful lover.
Is he?
Yeah.
And dreams of £1 million at the final immunity challenge.
It's going to be quite tough. Somebody's going to get hurt.